only Trixie Mattel.
She's back. Fresh from the Trixie Motel, Trixie and David are getting all dolled up again.
I'm just glad I had an excuse to wear these cute boots.
For the reno of a lifetime of their very own Hollywood home.
If we can do the motel, I think we could do something cool here.
We should make it our dream house.
The Dragalicious new series.
Let's go look inside. Woo! Oh.
Trixie Motel Drag Me Home. Starts Saturday 7:30 on TLC.
Let the battle begin! Oh! He's knocked out! That's a big right hand and he's gone! And I don't think he'll get up from that. Oh, this fight could be over! Oh, Mayweather makes him pay! And he's not going to make it! 9 and 10! And that's the fight! It is over!
Knockouts, only on Fight Sports.
This February, discover stories of grit, innovation and purpose. Meet the students of Crest Secondary School as they and their teachers rise up to the challenge of carving their own path to success. Explore challenges and strategy shaping Singapore's future as it navigates the unique trade-offs of being a city-state. Is there life after dementia? Instead of giving in to the disease, Alison Lim wants to inspire change and help others with the same condition lead meaningful lives. This February on CMA.
Hello and welcome. This is Midday News. Thanks for joining us. The casket of Sir Julius Chan left Tvwan via Bulumniski Highway heli this morning, bound for his final resting place. As the convoy depart, Tvwan people, including students, line the highway with flowers as they bid their final farewell to their governor. The casket will be making 6 stops along the highway before it reaches Namatanai. Members of Parliament and other leaders will be occupying the motorcade with the casket to Namatanai. The Papua New Guinea Teachers Association is ready to conduct its election for this year after a delay due to court proceedings that were taken against the national president. Now that the misappropriation allegations against the president are dismissed, the association is ready to conduct the election in May. According to the national president, Aita Sangeke, the tentative date for the election is May. This is to allow teachers to take up their new post and settle in schools before the association visits the schools, collect names, and update their common roll that will form the basis of the election.
Last year, my acting general secretary and they prepared and then all the teacher names. But at the moment, appointment all over. And teachers are posted to another location now. So now might take 2 or 3 months to get all appointment lists. Then we have to do the addresses because this is ballot paper is a posting. We have to post to you individually so that you have to mark it and then postal voting like American system. So then they will put in the envelope, they return. So
Sangeke apologized to the 16,000 members that the election did not proceed as scheduled last year due to his court proceedings. Now that he is cleared by the courts, he intends to carry out his responsibility and ensure that the election is carried out this year.
Election last year was delayed because of these proceedings. So now I appeal to the Electoral Commission And on my right hand, the acting General Secretary with your team. The election must proceed. And teachers now, 2024, 25, I want proper election must be conducted. And you need to elect your leader to serve you people.
The president further called on the members to prepare for the elections and have their candidates ready for May. Meanwhile, the PNGTA Acting General Secretary Alu Kingston said they will work closely with the president to carry out the election.
We see our president going in and out through the court case, and we follow him sometimes, and sometimes we don't follow him because we have work to do. But now that he is released, we are relieved. We will now concentrate on our work, and especially the election work, which we will continue in a few weeks' time.
There is an increase in lifestyle diseases in the country, and the NCD Provincial Health Authority is urging the public to live healthy lifestyle. Deputy Secretary of NCD PAJ Ken Y raised this concern during the launch of the Lounge Road Public Cancer Clinic yesterday.
So during this independence, our health sector wants to make sure the lifespan of Papua New Guineans by 2050 must reach 75. That means we do the right things. Do the right things. Cancer is killing, but we can easily protect it. No can kagai boy. If boy is food, fair enough. You eat it. But if it is not food, don't eat it. Eat what you are supposed to eat. Drink what you are supposed to drink.
Coca-Cola Euro-Pacific is preparing for the year ahead to increase their sales as they equip the sales and commercial team leaders and managers across PNG with sales and leadership tools. A commercial conference was held at Stanley Hotel yesterday to focus on leadership and sales for this year.
Pacific Partners PNG hosted an annual commercial conference 2025 focusing on equipping the sales and commercial team leaders and managers with tools to drive better leadership and sales for 2025 and beyond. Sales and Commercial Director CCEP PNG, Tim Solly, said that this is the third conference to be hosted, with the first two hosted in the preceding years respectively.
The big focus is around celebrating the year that was, so we're celebrating 2024. We're looking at what we learnt during the year, so what we did well and what we think we need to do better. And at the same time, we also then look at what our plans are for 2025. So we're spending a lot of time with our full commercial team, talking around what are we going to do, why are we going to do it, and what their role is in making sure we're successful as an organisation.
About 220 staff attended the conference and closed the conference off with a gala dinner to celebrate Coca-Cola's achievement and staff dedication in the country.
I want to thank people for the hard work and dedication they gave to us last year and their involvement in our success last year.
The conference had several stations to put the staff to the test with their knowledge and skills and allowed them the opportunity to ask questions to senior managers on what CCEP does what it does. Solly shared that this is a winning strategy and CCEP is confident to deliver on its targets this year. Jasmine Irajak, Tvwan News.
Turning overseas, Victoria's Premier has ordered another review into the state's bail laws as Parliament resumes for the first sitting week of the year. Just days out from by-elections in Rugby and Perm, Jacinta Harlan has considered that more needs to be done to protect community safety.
A new parliamentary year and new lineups on both sides of the dispatch box.
Welcome back, members.
The new opposition leader taking the seat last warmed by John Pisuto and taking a similar line of attack.
What does the Premier have to say to many victims of crime and their families who have been bashed, murdered or terrorised?
As I outlined this morning, I understand from listening to people from across the Victorian community how crime hurts families, it hurts working people in particular.
Earlier, flanked by her new Attorney General, the Premier announced a fresh law and order review.
The terms of reference is to review current laws. The writing instructions to the Attorney General and the Police Minister are to go away, review the current laws, including bail.
Just last year, the government strengthened bail laws, promising to crack down on serious offenders.
Those new laws are working their way through the system. However, it is also important to respond to community concerns.
There were more than 500,000 offences committed in Victoria last year, up 13%, and 100,000 family violence incidents, a never-before-seen high.
The Allen Labor government, particularly Jacinta Allen at the moment, is panicking because she's got 2 by-elections coming up that she knows will be a judgment of how she has delivered on crime here in Victoria.
The scope of the Premier's new review is unclear. The ABC understands it will look beyond bail laws, taking in wider justice matters.
I am not going to stand here today and rule things in or out.
What is clear is that both sides of politics have their eyes firmly trained on the issues at play for this weekend's by-elections happening in Prahran and Werribee, and crime is front and centre.
Prosecutors have called for jail time for a former trainee teacher convicted of sexual offences against a teenage schoolboy. The call came as the woman's lawyer asked the Australian Capital Territory Supreme Court to consider the ongoing online abuse she has faced since the case became public.
Petra Shasha was convicted last year of 4 charges, including grooming and persistent child sex abuse. She lavished gifts and money on the boy, gave him lifts, and at his request sent him pornographic images and footage of herself. That included images of the pair in a change room. The pair met when she was a trainee teacher at St Edmunds College when he was only 15. The boy had repeatedly told her he was 16, and she said she believed him, only learning his true age when she found his ID in her car. Her lawyers urged the court to factor in the boy's role in the situation in assessing her culpability. This was a victim who behaved in a manner beyond his years. But prosecutors said there were many indications he was younger, including his year level, and Shasha should be jailed for the offences. It was a very serious offence. It happened over a long period of time with some frequency. Petra Shasha sat with her head bowed for most of the hearing, often close to tears. Her lawyers asked for a non-custodial sentence. They also asked the court to take into account the high level of online abuse she's endured since being charged, reading out 2 messages received today while she was in court. Shasha will be sentenced later in the year.
Back home in sports, Bother brothers held onto a narrow win over Muriki Nokondis to snatch the Tokono off-season rugby league competition over the weekend at Goroka Eastern Highlands Province. The 14-8 victory gave brothers $3,000 cash and a trophy to mark and hand to a week-long off-season rugby league tournament.
The Bother brothers and Muriku Nokondis fought their way into the big dance out of 18 teams that had participated in the tournament. The brothers and Nokondis proved they were the best teams in the A-grade division, making the grand final. The brothers got home with a 6-point win in the first grand final match and walked home with 3,000 kina and a trophy. The runners-up Nokondis received 2,000 kina. In the reserve grade, Gehakuve brothers defeated Muriku Nokondis and received a grand prize of 2,000 kina and a trophy. The Nokondi Premier and Reserve teams did well to reach the grand final in both divisions but couldn't nail it in the big dance. The highlight of the week-long rugby league tournament was the expose of young rugby league talents. The event brought onto the pitch some exciting young rugby league talents of Tokano-speaking population of Goroka district, where their talents were showcased. President of Tokano Off-Season Rugby League Aaron Johnson expressed gratitude for the 18 participating teams, the rugby league fans and followers for making the competition a success. He further thanked the president of Goroka Rugby League, Pius Koko, for allowing them to host the game at the Sir Danny Leahy Oval. Koko further extended his gratitude to the sponsor Apete Gahu Kopo for supporting the first Tokano Off-Season Rugby League tournament. The principal sponsor of the tournament, Gahu Kopo, was impressed with the participation and progress of the tournament. Rex Lita, TV1 Sports.
And that ends the news update. Do join us at 6 for more.